So today I wanted to discuss RICHR with you. So it is a tool that I was introduced to 20 plus years ago. It's very ingrained in my life. It's tattooed to my leg. It is on my water bottle that I call a whoopee every day. And so it's an acronym. So it spells out respect, integrity, commitment, honesty, and responsibility. So when I come from my anchors or my pillars as a man or even as a woman, right? Depends on how you take this on in your life. See if it's a useful tool for you. Then I am grounded in what do I do when something comes up in my life that can cause sadness or anger or thought, not making it good or bad, but how do I handle something, right? So I've been asked to speak to it from a financial foundation. So when I get into an example, that's what I'll do. However, RICHR as an acronym, as a anchor and a pillar in my life, can flow into my spirituality, into my relationships, into how I operate as a man, how I'm able to go from my head into my subconscious, make great decisions, wire that up to my brain because my brain's a marionette. It only does what I tell it to. A lot of people think it starts here. It doesn't. It starts here. So let's use, so actually, let's do this, a financial foundation. So let's say that the boss came to me and said, I'd like to move you up in the company and I'd like to give you a pay raise. Uh, I would, so then I go, okay, let me think about that. Right. So I go out of the office and I go into RICHR. Right. So the idea is this: when something comes up, is it's a boat in the ocean, right? And let's say there's waves, right? Or lots of rain and the water's coming over the boat head, if you will, right? I don't know what they call it. And it's tumultuous. It's like, oh my gosh, am I going to get out of here? I'm way out in the middle of the ocean and things are incredibly volatile. How am I going to get out of here? The idea with RICHR as an anchor, right? I also sometimes call it a pillar, but as an anchor, if I drop the anchor over the side a few 100 feet, things get a little calmer. Now the boat's still doing this, right? And if I drop it another 200 feet, keep in mind I'm out in the ocean, then it gets even more calm. This is still going on, but it also starts to get a little more quiet, a little more calm. So I feel calmer. Okay. A couple hundred more feet, same thing. This is still going on, right? It's still a part of what's going on for me. However, I've zoomed out because sometimes zooming in, I see the bigness of, oh my gosh, it's a storm, right? Or in this case, an opportunity to take the advancement and the money or not. So now it goes down another couple 100 feet. Boom, it hits the bottom of the ocean floor. And now I'm anchored, right? So the idea with RICHR is this. So I'm anchored in, this is still going on. So now the idea is I ask myself a series of questions. So am I being respectful? Do I have respect? Did I sit and I listen to my boss offer me an opportunity? And yes, I did. Okay, cool. Now, I might be able to dive into that a little bit more. Am I respecting him in this more than me? Because the money isn't good enough? But yet I'll take it to have respect for him and respect that I have a job and that, I'm not hurting like some people in life where they don't have a job, they're not making the money they want, much less have an opportunity to make more money, but sacrifice my integrity, if you will. Oh, we'll get into that one. Oh, it's the next one, integrity. So the next one is integrity in RICHR. So would I be integrous taking the job? Well, maybe. Is it the money I want to make? Yes. Is it a job Is the title somewhere where I'm going to have to lie because the company lies about things, right? So would I be in integrity, right? So then I chew that up. I investigated Inspector Clouseau, Inspector Gadget for a more funny way of looking at it. So I look at all the things that would be integrity in it, right? Would I be able to provide for my family, right? Well, there's integrity in that. I said that I was going to do that, so I have integrity, so I'm going to take the job. Okay, but I'm going to have to lie to all these people. That's a little bit over here, a little bit over there, right? So you can see how the investigation is a good thing. It's finding a point A before I move to a point B. What is honesty? We'll talk about that. What's honest about it? When I take a look at the integrity of it, it's more than just integrity. It's integrity with the boss. Am I making him right, but I'm sacrificing my integrity? Am I providing for my family, but I'm sacrificing my integrity? Am I providing for my family, but yet I'm taking away from the company I'm working for? So I'm just taking the money, but not willing to do the job. So the integrity of it. And then the commitment of it. So the commitment can be anything from, am I committed to providing more money? Am I committed to the company to work for them? Am I committed to leaving and I'm just using them as a stepping stone until I can figure out how to be my own boss, right? So the commitment of it. Or something that just popped in my mind. My hours just went from 40 hours a week to 80 hours a week to be committed to what the boss laid out in front of me for X amount of money. Would that be worth it? Am I respecting my time, right? By accepting the pay increase and the job, if you will, right? Now we'll go into the next one because I think you get the point with, right? So the next one is honesty. So I want to pause right there because I want to have a conversation around the word telling the truth and being honest. There's a reason that the word honest is there. So the one I like to use when I have a discussion about do you know the difference between truth and honesty is this. So I'm going to tell you a story and I'm going to tell you in two parts, right? I'm going to be truthful and then I'm going to be honest. So the truth. So in 2009, I went bankrupt for real in my real life. That's the truth. Pretty simple, right? I lost nearly everything and I had to start over and we'll leave it at that. Now I'm going to be honest. So in 2009, I went bankrupt. Now, the reason I went bankrupt was because I thought I was Cary freaking Grant and I was going to be booked in advance and I was always going to have a large amount of cash in my safe and booked 6 months in advance and the cutting edge of the flooring world and sought after and all of this. And I owned a car, a Lotus, that cost more than the house I lived in. Yeah. I was doing things with money where I was paying for other people. And I owned 2 pairs of $600 pants. But I had no investments. I had no portfolio. I wasn't diversified. And I live in Las Vegas. And I was also gambling a lot. So we were spending, a chunk of change on Friday night. And then we would go back to the same casino Saturday night and gamble a bit more because it was Saturday night, right? And this was on the weekly. And if I told you what the tally was for the year, most of you would be disgusted like I was. And I learned a lot. I knew because of my background growing up poor and I'm not worth it and worthiness issues that I needed to actually understand I was worthy of a pair of $600 blue jeans. I was worthy of these things. I have great feeling, confident feelings. I am Cary Grant. I have a great company. I'm sought after. All of those things were great. And I didn't know that the economy switched every 10 years. I wasn't wise enough to seek that out. I wasn't seeking any wise counsel in my life where somebody would say, hey, owning a car that costs more than your home is a little interesting, right? I know this is like a whole sub teaching right in the middle of whatever, but it also kind of goes back to financial foundation, right? So I'm thankful that I was young enough I was in my early 40s to not be super old and not be able to go back because I got to keep my company and learn that, like this shirt right now, I bought it at Kohl's. All right. I don't need an $80 sweater. Affliction was big at the time. I didn't need $600 pants. I wanted to learn how to retire. I wanted to learn how to have a portfolio. I wanted to know that I was worthy of $600 pants, but then them not become valuable. Like, I don't, that's just a gross thought to me. Because even right now, I can't retire the way I would want to. And so it's taking that money and investing it correctly for when the economy changes every 10 years, that I could be more prepared to not lose everything. I didn't know how much credit card debt I had at the time. It was over $250,000 worth of credit card debt. I didn't know. So even the life that I was living, all the things that I just described about opulence, wasn't even true, because I was spending outside of, what do they call it? My means, right? I was actually self-destructing because I thought I was Cary Grant. I was going to be booked in advance. So even what I was doing wasn't true. Because at the time, I thought it was actually true. I thought I could actually afford it. But with $250,000 worth of credit card debt, obviously I could not. Right? And I didn't learn that until after the situation. However, okay, so that's the part about telling the truth and being honest. So there's a reason that it is honest. In my relationships and the way that I handle my life, honesty is the policy. I can actually move freer through my life if I'm honest instead of having to cover up the lies. So, going back to the financial part of this, and am I being honest with him? Is it enough money? Did he offer enough money? No, he didn't. For the hours that he's asking for? No, he didn't. And did I say anything to him? Right? Am I being honest with myself? Am I really trying to leave this company and open up my own thing and been honest with him? Hey, bud, I appreciate the honor, and I'm working on a way out of not working here anymore, although it's a blessing, and I kind of want to open my own company and be honest. So you may want to get somebody into that position that has the want to fulfill that job title, grow your company, which is what you're offering me, and I get that. And I don't see myself being here much longer than a year. I'm learning a lot and I'm doing my job. I'm earning the pay you are giving me. And I think it would be best if you offered it to someone else that was wanting to stay a little longer than me. And I thought I'd take that minute to tell you that. Now, when I said, hey, I'm going to go think about this alone, that part right there may come back up. Where when I walk back into his office, because I've checked into my anchors, I know what to say to the man. Does that make sense? And then, am I being responsible? The last part of RICHR. Yes, I know it's spelled wrong. Work it out. Am I being responsible? Right? Am I being responsible to him, me, my family? What am I doing? Am I being responsible? So RICHR can be used. So that's the close on and from a financial place. Scene. RICHR is one of the greatest tools that I've ever had. It is an acronym that I use. I am a RICHR man when I come from my anchors and pillars. RICHR meaning respect, integrity, commitment, honesty, and responsibility. So let's say that something comes up. I'm faced with losing my business, losing my company that I've had for 21 years. Because something has come up. Maybe my license is in jeopardy or something. You know, I made a boo-boo on a job and now it's going to be a ton of money to fix it. And so I'm freaking out. So the idea is the boat's going to start doing this out in the middle of the ocean. It's going to be big waves and thunder and lightning and all these things, right? And the idea is to go underneath the water a couple hundred feet with my anchor. Things get a little quieter and calmer. I go down another 200 feet. It gets calmer and quieter so I can think. This is still going on, but I can think. And I can think. So the anchor drops. So the idea is for me to go through those 5 words, RICHR, and investigate what I'm currently not doing so that I can go back up the chain and give that to the situation. Okay, So I'm in jeopardy of losing my company. So am I having respect for it? Yes. I can answer that one. Yes. Am I being integrous? Okay. Well, am I thinking about a lie to get me out of the situation to not lose my company? Or am I being integrous? Am I being integrous with the clients or the contractors board or whatever's going on? Am I lying? Am I telling the truth? Da, da, da. Am I committed? Well, no, right now I'm in beat up and I'm in sabotage, right? Oh my God, everything's bad. I'm going to lose my company. Okay, well, then I'm not committed to keeping my company. So I got to get my brain right, go back up the chain with commitment, figure it out. There's a solution. I haven't lost the company. Doesn't mean I have to. So if I check into just commitment, I don't even have to, I can go back up. Okay, I'm committed to keeping my company. What's the solution? Because I know we can get to one using respect and integrity and all of this. What's the solution? What would make this great? Then I'd have to go through honest, and that part's easy. It's like, am I trying to lie to the client? Am I trying to lie to the contractor's board, or am I telling the truth and then getting to the solution? And then am I being responsible? Am I being responsible to my employees, to myself, to the contractor's board, to the client? No, not. So once I go through those 5 words, my anchors, my pillars, I know what to do as a man, as a human being. And my wants is that you take and use the tool, right? So it's going back up the chain from the anchor, because now I know what to do. I'm currently not committed and I'm currently not being responsible. So go back up the chain, get in it, calm it down. If it doesn't, okay, cool, then I must be needing an opportunity to check back into my anchors. Okay, thought that was going to go better. So what am I currently not doing? Check into the anchors, go back up the chain, rinse and repeat.